Hello everyone, it's Molly here again and I am having a bad hair day. Thumbs up for bad hair days. We all have them and today is mine. My bangs weren't cooperating, my hair in general isn't cooperating. When I straightened it, I burnt my thumb. Like, it's just been one of those like hair and me aren't getting along kind of days. So if something randomly starts like sticking up out of my head, or if in general it just doesn't look great, that's why. I apologize, but we all have those days. So today, as you see from the title, is another Blind Girl Storytime video. I will link my Blind Girl Storytime playlist down below in case you want to go watch any of my other past Storytime videos. This is going to be another short, quick one like the figure skating story, and similar to the figure skating story, it's another, what you could say would be an embarrassing moment. So I'm going to take you back in time to winter 2015. It was maybe end of February, beginning of March, super crazy snowy outside, and I went up to visit my boyfriend at the time, Matt, who is now my ex-boyfriend. I will also link my Everything Boyfriend playlist down below in case you want an update on us. We are best friends again. Before we dated, in case you don't know, we were best friends for 4 years, dated for 2.5, and now we're absolute best friends again. We talk almost every day. I go to visit him, he comes home and sees me, so we're in a super good place and it's awesome to have him as a best friend in my life again. So I went up to visit him at school, and because I was so busy with travel for work and he was so busy with school, if I wasn't traveling for work, I would typically go and stay with him in his student house. He didn't live like on campus or anything in a residence, he was just like rented a student house with some awesome guys. So I loved going up and visiting him because I loved his roommates and it was just a ton of fun. Kind of gave me like the university experience without ever having to go to university. It was perfect. Got the best of both worlds. So I went up to visit him, and at this point he was really busy with school. It was kind of a crunch period for him. So despite the fact that I was there, we still weren't really getting to spend too much time together. So he was so sweet and treated me to a pedicure. And he got me like a gift certificate to go to a spa in Uptown, which is like, for some reason they call it Uptown in Waterloo, which is, he goes to school in Waterloo. But it's like their downtown. Like, I would call it a downtown, but for some reason all of them call it Uptown. I don't know. So it was a spa in Uptown, and his student house was very close to Uptown. We could easily walk into Uptown. So together we bundled up in our winter coats and hats and boots and mitts and everything to walk to the spa. And it was like a pedicure or manicure kind of gift certificate, but I always have shellac on my nails. So I was getting a pedicure, and I'm one of those people, it doesn't need to be summer flip-flop wearing season where everybody can see my toes for me to want a pedicure. Like, I just enjoy having my nails done, whether anybody else can see them or not. So for me, it didn't matter that I was getting a pedicure in the dead of winter. I was just excited that my boyfriend was treating me to a pedicure. So he dropped me off with my guide dog Gallop, and I got this beautiful dark purple color. The woman doing my nails was super lovely. We just had a fun girly time. And then when I was done, Matt picked Gallop and I up, and on our walk home, I was like, you know what, that was so sweet of you to treat me to a pedicure. Let's stop off and I'll get you a coffee. So we stopped off at one of our favorite coffee shops, which is DVLB. Pretty sure that's the name. I haven't been in a while. I might have mixed those letters up. I always got confused what it was called, but I'm pretty sure it was DVLB. So if you go to school in the Waterloo area, or you live in the Waterloo area, go check that place out. It's good stuff. It's pricey, but it's delicious. So we would usually like sit and enjoy the ambiance because it was just a really nice vibe in there. But like I said, he was super busy with school, so we were just grabbing takeout, like to-go coffees. So we order, pay, and similar to Starbucks, you go stand at kind of like the end of the island to pick up your coffee to wait for it to be done. So we're standing down there, and I turned to him and I'm like, you know, thank you so much for that pedicure. That was so sweet of you. You didn't have to do that, and I really appreciate it. He's like confused. He was like, what? I was like, the pedicure you just treated me to? That was really sweet of you. That, you know, I just really appreciate it and want to say thank you again. And he's like, okay. He sounded so confused, and I was like, that's such a weird reaction. Like, what's wrong? I just was like, okay, cool. cool, whatever. And then I hear Matt on the other side of me and he's like, okay, I'm back. And I was like, what do you mean you're back? And he was like, from putting the sugar in my coffee, I'm back. I was like, weren't you just right over there? On my right or my left? And he was like, no, like I told you, I went to grab sugar for my coffee because his coffee had come out first. So basically what we figured out had happened is his coffee came out before mine, and he had said to me, I'm gonna go put some sugar in my coffee, which it was at a different station. But because I had like a winter hat on and my hood and everything, and I was just so bundled up and they had music playing and all that kind of stuff, I didn't hear him. And because I felt this large presence on my left side, I just assumed that it was Matt. And basically I ended up thanking a complete and total stranger. And because in between my two sentences to him, the only thing he had said is what, he hadn't said enough for me to recognize that it wasn't my boyfriend's voice. Because I'm very good at voice recognition. But because it was only one word before I jumped in and started thanking him again and clarifying what I was thanking him for, I didn't realize it wasn't him. And then again, all he had said after that was, okay. So the voice, he didn't say enough for me to recognize that it was not my boyfriend. So I told Matt what had happened. That guy had left. I told Matt what had happened. He burst out laughing. I burst out laughing. We grabbed the coffees and we left. And on the way home, I was saying to Matt, you know, that's one of those situations that years ago would have mortified me. I would have been so embarrassed. I would have been upset. I would have been frustrated about being blind and these stupid situations happen to me because I can't see. But I've just gotten to a point in my life, the past, you know, quite a few number of years now, that I'm just like, so what? Blind or sighted, everybody has these silly little embarrassing moments, slip-ups, mishaps, hashtag blind girl problems. It's just a part of it. It comes along with the territory, and I just embrace those moments. I've learned to laugh it off. I'm never gonna see that guy again. He's never gonna see me again. So what? It doesn't matter what society thinks of me. I'm confident in myself. I know who I am. I'm a strong person. And I've just learned to let it roll off my shoulders and not faze me. And I think, you know what? He could go back to his roommates and laugh and tell them about this crazy girl at the coffee shop who was thanking him for some pedicure. And maybe that made his day. Maybe that moment gave him the laugh that he needed. Maybe he realized I was blind, maybe he didn't, and it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm never going to see him again. His judgment of me doesn't matter because I'm strong and confident in who I am. So what other people think of me doesn't affect me anymore. So I think that's the best way to approach these things, especially if you do have a disability. Don't blame it on your disability. Realize that everybody, disabled or not, has those moments in their life, and you just gotta learn to embrace it, own it, and realize that it's a part of what makes you fantastically you. Those quirky, awkward moments is what makes up how awesome you are as a person. Gives you a good story to tell on the internet. And yeah, so that's all for this video. Like I said, it was just a short little thing. For some reason, this moment like popped into my head earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I should share that with my internet friends. So I thought I'd sit down here and film it for you. But I'm going to link below 2 of my blog posts that I've done, my hashtag blind girl problems compilations. So if you want to go read up on many more hashtag blind girl problems that I've had in my life and get a good laugh, or just feel less alone, then go check those out. I know, honestly, whenever I read them, they give me a good laugh. Please comment down below some of your hashtag blind girl problems, hashtag blind person problems, hashtag human being problems, disabled or not. Comment some of your embarrassing moments. Let's bond over our awkward situations. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. Thumbs it up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't joined the family already. We would love to have you here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!